What's going on YouTube? Michael Harris here, coming at you today with another video, and this time I'm going to break down my exact strategies on how I go from zero to over $9,000 a day using Google Shopping ads. So stay tuned.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online.
Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to break it all down for you step by step with a tutorial on how to go from zero to $9,000 a day using Google Shopping ads. I'm going to give you my exact strategy that I use. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video, so you want to make sure that you stay tuned to this one. At the very end, I'm going to give you a few bonuses that will help get you sales faster and that will also increase your profits. So definitely stay to the very end. Those bonuses will be mentioned at the last little bits of this video. So before we get too much further into this, I want to make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a completely done for you Shopify store. Also, I'm going to be giving you my six-figure sales funnel from ClickFunnels that gets an even higher conversion rate than Shopify stores and quite a few other goodies. So you're going to want to make sure you subscribe to the channel because winners will be drawn randomly for that giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. Alright, so on this video, like I said, I'm going to break it all down for you guys. We're going to go from finding products and kind of the general layout and overview of like what your Shopify store should look like in terms of how many products you should be testing, the niches and everything like that. So we're just going to do kind of a broad overview of that topic. Then we're going to go into like the actual layout of what your Google Ads campaigns should look like, especially when you're just testing products, and then what to do once you find winners. Also, I'm going to break it down for you on how to actually confirm winners. So like, how do you know when you found a winner and what to look for when you found one? And then, like I said earlier, if you stay till the very end, I'm going to give you a few bonuses that will help get you those sales even faster and increase your profit margins. So without going on much longer, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started with our step-by-step tutorial. So in this video, I'm not going to get like super in-depth with like account creation and all that kind of stuff. I'm just giving you the overview and the strategy that I use. I'm assuming you already have your ad account set up and your merchant center account set up and all that. If not, it's pretty straightforward. It might seem like a lot, but you can find a few videos online to like see how that goes. Later on, I'll probably do more specific videos on like actually setting up the account. But if you do not have anything set up for Google Ads, what you need is a shopping app, a Google Shopping app from within your Shopify store. You just go to the App Store and look those up. And then you also need a Merchant Center account, which is a Google account. That's kind of like the brain for all of your products. And then you also need a Google advertising account. So once you get those set up, then we're going to go ahead and use these tactics. Like I said, I'm not going to go like super in depth on account creation here. So first of all, what I want to show you guys is kind of the general overview of like what your Shopify store should look like at this point. I'm assuming, and I made this situation for people who are like wanting to find niches to make a niche store in, but they are not there yet. And so like most of you guys are probably watching this are probably going to be using a general store. So like what you should have set up is a few niches that you know have potential, and then also at least anywhere from 5 to 100 products, which I'll get into in a second on why there's so many. But if for some reason you already do have a niche store, maybe you've never used Google Shopping and you're just trying to figure it out for your niche specific store, these points are going to be exactly the same. You're just obviously not going to have different niches. You're just going to have a bunch of products in your store. So that being said, a few pointers on like budgets compared to the amount of products. If you're like totally brand new and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, you can still do this, but you just want to have less products in your campaign. So like I would always recommend starting with at least 10 products in your testing campaign. And if you have like 10, say you do like the minimum and you have 10 products, then I'd recommend starting your budget at like $25. I have about, I think 25 to 30 products in my testing campaign, and I have the budget set to $100 a day. And that's because of a few reasons. One, I want to find winners quicker. And two, I don't want to spend like a bunch of time testing products, which I guess those are kind of the same thing. But like we'll get more in depth on that later in terms of like spending money and budgets and all that kind of stuff. But essentially all you need to know is like testing your products. Smaller budgets, you want to test less products. Bigger budgets, you want to test more products. You can do even like 1,000 products in each niche if you want. Like it doesn't matter. But just remember that the more products you have, the longer time it will take and the more money it will require to find a winning product, which we'll get into now. And what I want to talk about in this next section is the actual like setup and overview of how your Google Ads campaigns should be showing. And so first of all, just to give you guys a broad overview, we're going to have a testing campaign and then we're going to have a single product campaign. Now the testing campaign is going to have all your products that you have on your store listed out into this testing campaign. And then our single product campaign is going to be our winning products, which we'll get into more in just a minute. First of all, I want to go over the testing campaigns here. So like I said, testing campaigns list all of your products. Every single product that's in your store that you want to try to see if you can advertise on Google and get profitable and making you sales, you want to put this in your testing campaign. A few pointers on this. Your testing campaigns are called all-in-one campaigns, is what some people refer to them to. I just call them a testing campaign. Like, it doesn't really matter. You just know that it's your campaign that have a bunch of products. The bid settings, a quick pointer is you always want to use maximize clicks. After a while, Google will optimize and give you the cheapest clicks and give you the most bang for your budget that you have. And like I said, it doesn't really matter. Like, we're just getting clicks to see if we can get sales at this point. So we can get into bid settings and stuff later. So for right now, the testing campaign just needs to be set to maximize clicks. And like I said earlier, we're going to have all of our products listed in this campaign. Like here, there's no reason to have like your niches, and you can't really like separate it by niche. I just put this in there so we can know that, like, as a visual, that all of our niches with all of our products are in this one campaign. So that being said, to talk a little bit more in depth and specifically on the testing campaign, if you do not know, if you're not familiar with Google Shopping at all, it can take up to a week after you start a campaign for it to be functioning fully and showing fully and spending your whole budget. What that means is in that first week, Google is learning and it's trying to figure out the best ways and the best times and the best price to charge you for your clicks. And it's also figuring out your quality score and many other variables all at the same time. And you're basically just lining up for the auction, like you're lining up for where your ads are going to show in that first week. And if you do this right, then you can actually get really high quality scores, which means cheaper clicks, which we'll get into. That's a little bit more advanced later on down the road. We'll do more videos on that. But what we're going to be talking about right now is just the maximize click. So once you have your campaign set up and all your products added in and it's running, just allow for up to like a week before it's showing fully, okay? And so at the week mark, give or take a day, after about a week of it running, you should be spending your full budget at this point. And now you're just going to let your campaign run. And you may or may not have gotten sales at this point at the week mark. Sometimes I do get sales, like if I'm just starting a brand new testing campaign, sometimes I'll get sales in like the first day, second day, third day. Other times I won't get any sales until like day 8 or 9 of the campaign running. Like, it just really depends on what you're selling and what you're testing. But just know at this point, like, if you haven't gotten any sales, that's okay. Going forward, so around day 7, 8, or 9, somewhere in there, you should be spending your full budget. And now what we want to do is we just want to let it run. We just want to let Google do its job, and Google is going to find us winners out of all of our products that we have listed in our shopping campaign. So how do we know what's a winner? We will get into later. So what's going to happen after Google starts showing correctly and after our campaign is spending the full budget, what happens is Google just starts sending clicks to products randomly. So like basically clicks are just going to start trickling down to all these products here. And eventually, after you get a few clicks to each product, in theory, you should be getting sales, which I'll get into a little bit more later on, like when to stop advertising a product. But it does take a while for this to happen. So like, if you have a budget of like $25 a day, in theory, that's only like 25 to maybe 50 clicks a day, depending on like what you're advertising. So 50 clicks across, at least 10 products, it can take a while for it to stack up with the conversion rates and everything. But essentially, you want to let this run for like, after it's been running fully, like for a week, you want to let it run for another 5 days to see if you can get any sales coming in. If you haven't gotten any sales coming in by like, that would be, let's see, like day 12, like almost 2 weeks, then you're probably doing something wrong. You're probably like either testing the wrong kind of products, or your store doesn't look right, or something like that, which we'll get into later. But like, just know if at like 2 weeks you haven't gotten a single sale, you're doing something wrong, and you should stop spending money, and you should go back to the drawing board on what you're testing and what your store looks like and stuff like that. So if you're doing this correctly, at around the 2 week mark, you should have, like I said, it can vary. You should have anywhere from like one to maybe, I don't know, like really good would be like 10 sales after 2 weeks. And then at that point, you should start to kind of know like what products are going to work. And you should also be seeing in your product breakdown within your ad group. If you go into like your ad account and you go to products, and it'll list out like every single product that you have listed in this campaign. And then there will be also these columns over here that tell you like how many clicks and your click-through rate and all that. Google will start to show that it's favoring one product more than the other. So like it might favor this product here, and then it also might favor this product here. And it might, between these two, it might be spending 90% of the budget on these two products. If for some reason you haven't gotten sales and it's doing that, then you just need to remove these two products. Like if it's not spending your budget on the rest of your products that are in there, then just remove those two products, because they're not going to win, which I'll get into a little bit more in depth in a minute towards the end of this video, on like when, like how you know what's a winner and what's not. But if your Google Shopping campaign is spending like 90% on one or two products, and you're not getting sales, and you've gotten like 100 clicks to each product, then just like remove them. Like you're just wasting money and you're wasting time. But if your campaign is like spending pretty evenly, and you get like, say you have 10 products in your campaign, and you get like 5% to this product and 5% of the budget to this product and 5% to that and to that and to that, and then you've gone like 2 full weeks and it's evenly distributing and you haven't gotten sales, that's when you're doing something wrong. That's when you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to figure out what you're testing, if it's products that people actually want, and if your store looks appropriate. So that being said, those are kind of like some of the key pointers of like how exactly the testing campaign works, and like when to stop, and like when to remove a product and when to keep going. So in theory, after I would say 2 weeks at the most, you should have a few sales rolling in, and you should have confirmation of winning products. So we'll get into like actually how to confirm a product here in a minute. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and talk about single product campaigns. So once you find a winner, again, I'll go over how to confirm that it's a winner. I'll go over that here in just a second. But once you find a winner, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create single product campaigns. So what is a single product campaign? Broad overview is it's your winning product. You took it out of your testing campaign here, and you just put it in its own campaign where only one product is in this single product campaign. Obviously, it makes sense. Single product campaign, you just have one product in it. This is your winning product or products. I'll get into that in just a second once you find multiple products, how to manage all this. But let's say you just found in this Well, let's say in this example, you just found one winning product that you've gotten a few sales on, and you want to take it and put it into your single product campaign. So what you would do is you would remove this from your testing campaign. Let's say you found like a dog collar. Let's just make this example really easy. Let's say you found a dog collar out of your pet niche, and you take this product and you put it into your single campaign area here. What you're going to do now is obviously remove this from your testing campaign, because you don't need to keep testing it anymore. So you want to change the product type, or like however you got these added in there with product IDs and stuff. You want to remove this product from your testing campaign, because at this point you're just wasting money on testing a product that you already know is a winner. So once you remove this, you want to add it into its own campaign. And once you add it into your own campaign, what happens now is the product gets the full budget from the campaign. You also get full control over the cost per click, which in turn leads to more profit, which we'll get into later. And then also you get full control over negative keywords. So we want to add negative keywords, which we'll get into again in just a minute. But we want to add negative keywords for this campaign, because we don't want our ads showing for like keywords that don't matter. And so like I'll probably do a whole nother video on how to add negative keywords into a campaign, but just know right now that like this is why you want to go into a single product campaign, is you just get more control over it. And by doing these things like cost per click and your increasing your budget and adding negative keywords, this is how you get up into like the really high, like almost 10K days like I do, or even beyond. Like I know there's people that do even more than me with Google Shopping ads with one product. This is how you get in there. These are the steps to go, is like managing your cost per click and then also increasing your budget and adding negative keywords. So that's why you want to take it out of your testing campaign and put it into a single product campaign. And that's what's actually going to lead you into profit and making more than just a few sales here and there. So hopefully this section makes sense. Essentially, just to retouch really quick on these topics, you're going to have a testing campaign and it's going to have a bunch of products down here, right? You're just going to keep testing and testing and testing and testing, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. And in theory, Google will spit out winners that you can confirm and go into single product campaigns with, where you can then have more control over the product and you can then scale it up to multiple sales a day, depending on the search volume. And you're just going to keep repeating this, guys. Like it's really that easy. You just keep like testing, 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 and it will spit out another one, and testing, 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 and spit out another one, and another one, and another one. And eventually you have a bunch of winning products. And in theory, you have a bunch of winning products in multiple niches, and then you can then expand into different niche stores. So that's like what this is all about, guys. Like we're testing products to find like an end game business that we can scale to the moon using more than just Google ads. We can use Facebook, social media, all that kind of stuff. That's what this is all about. And like gets me really excited because like this is like where magic happens, is right here with the Google ads. So hopefully this section makes sense. If not, definitely comment below on the video and I can clarify any questions. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to how to actually like confirm that a product is winning. So as you can see here, I have a few pointers on what you need to look for. Essentially, what we want is like 2 to 3 sales on a product before we take it out of our testing campaign that we looked at over there. You want at least 2 to 3 sales, if not more. More is better, but like you really only need like 2 to 3 to confirm. So this is how I consider it. I consider 1 sale to be lucky. I consider 2 sales to be better, obviously, and then I consider 3 sales to be like total confirmation that this product has potential. If like one person buys it and you never get a sale again, then don't waste your time and your energy and your money on that product. Just move on to the next products. Another reason how to confirm a winner would be if Google is like consistently favoring this product in your testing campaign. And what I mean by favoring is it spends like 75 to like 90 or even 100% of the budget on this one product every single time. If you feel like this product has potential and like it should be getting sales and your store looks good and everything like that, then you can take this product out and go into a single product campaign without having any sales. But you obviously just want to proceed with caution. Like don't waste too much money and don't get married to the product and don't get upset if it doesn't work. Just remember that you have to have like rules and stuff set up for yourself so you don't spend a bunch of money and waste a bunch of time testing products that ultimately don't work. So just to be clear, like the best case scenario is your products get 2 to 3 sales like immediately in your testing campaign. But for some reason, if it doesn't get any sales and you think that this product should have potential and it should be getting sales, then you can do this method here. Like you'll notice that most of the clicks are going to one product. Take that product out of your testing campaign and go into our single product campaigns with that. A few other ways, just in general, how to confirm it should be a winning product, or if it already is a winning product. There should be small amounts of competition on Google Shopping for this. Do not waste your time selling stuff if there's like hundreds of other dropshipping stores, okay? Like the prime example of what not to do is try to sell like a blackhead removal vacuum at this point. That product is done and gone. You will not make money. So like don't go out there and try to test products that a bunch of other people are already selling. You want to find niches that have potential, that have like not 1,000 other drop shippers trying to sell it to, but you obviously still want some kind of competition because that means that there's like a market there. So what do I mean by small amounts of competition specifically? I mean, you have ads from like Walmart and Amazon and maybe like one or two other drop shipping stores or bigger name brand stores that are selling either the similar thing or perhaps the same thing. You really want to try not to sell like the same exact thing that other places are selling, because then you just get into a bidding war. But if you can, for example, sell like a different variation of a blackhead removal vacuum, you probably have a better chance of making actual money and continuing on with like huge revenue and profits and stuff like that. So small amounts of competition. Do not enter a market if there's like over 10 drop shipping stores advertising on Google. I wouldn't even mess with that. Like, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. So another thing that's important to remember is you're not looking for profit yet when you're testing products. On rare occasions, you might have a profitable testing campaign, but in theory, you're breaking even or losing a little bit of money. That's okay, and that means that profit will be coming soon if you're getting sales on your testing campaign. It's important to not get discouraged if like you lose a little bit of money at the beginning. If you're like just starting out with testing campaigns, losing money or being just break even is normal. If you're losing like a lot of money and like you're not getting any sales, like I said earlier, you're doing something wrong and you're testing the wrong products or your store doesn't look good. But if you're getting consistent sales and just breaking even or losing barely any money, that's okay. And just keep going. This is normal at this point. You have to remember that like you have to invest your money into this business, and like it takes time and it takes energy and it does take money to make money in this case. So just remember that like you're not really looking for profit in the testing phase over here. Profit will come once you get down below here and you get full control of your bids and you know how to bid and you know the settings and you know the negative keywords to add. That's when all the profit comes, and that's when you're going to make up. Like, guys, you have one winning product, you can make up for so much money that you've lost over here, and you can like literally quadruple up on your profits, if not like 10x your ROI on your advertising with the right product. So like, if you feel like you're losing money or anything, obviously it's up to you on when you want to start and stop, but like I'm okay with losing, 10 to 20% profit, or like losing 10 to 20% of my money in the first testing phase, because I know that I'm going to make it up once I find a winning product. Ideally, you'd be breaking even, but like I said, losing 10 to 20%, that's comfortable for me. Obviously, whatever you're comfortable with, stick to that. Which leads me to one other thing. I really want to express that you guys like have to set rules up in place for yourself. Like, if you're just spending like if you spend like $200 on one product and you don't get a sale, you're just wasting your time and money. I'm going to give you bonuses at the end of this video on like what my like general rule of thumbs are for products, but and like when to stop advertising them. But you guys have to like set up boundaries that once you hit boundaries, you just stop with the product. I see way too many people that get married to products that they think should work, and for whatever reason they just don't work, but the person is like so dead set on how to make it work, and like I want to sell this and I want to sell this and I want to sell this, but like if it's not selling and the ads aren't working, then you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money and you're not going to make any profit on something like that. So to go back to like an example of what that would be is like, don't get married to a product like the blackhead removal vacuum or a posture correcting brace or anything like that, because those products have already like somebody already made all the money on that, and those trends are dying out and all the competition is moving in. So you can't get married to products like that because like they're not going to work. And if you look those up on Google Shopping, there's plenty of people advertising that already. So I hope you guys found this useful. Since you stayed to the end of the video, I do have a few bonuses to go over with you that will help get you sales faster and help maintain profitability. And also just kind of the general rules of thumbs that I use for my Google advertising campaign. So let's go ahead and get into those. First of all, what you want to do, it's really important that you set a maximum cost per click on the testing campaign. This can vary widely depending on what you're selling. Obviously, like cost per click is like one of the most variable things that you can have in the world of PPC advertising, but it's important that once you do your product research, you know exactly what your max cost per click should be. So how do we find this out? We use keyword research tools, things like Keywords Everywhere or the Google Keyword Planner to get kind of a general idea of what everyone else is paying for the cost per click. And then we set that in within our settings. So what this will do is it will then keep people, or what this will do is it will then keep Google from spending more than that maximum cost per click. And it's going to basically make it easier for your campaign to maintain a break even or minimal loss scenario when you're testing your products. Next, it's important to check and add negative keywords daily in the beginning stages of your single product campaigns. So what do I mean by this? I mean, when you just find a winning product and you just go into your single product campaigns here, you need to be checking it daily, if not even hourly, if you have time, checking daily to make sure that your negative keywords are added in the search results. So let's say you're advertising a blackhead vacuum and you don't know, like you're just entering into this and you just started getting sales rolling in and you're putting it into your single product campaign, getting ready to scale it up to into profit and into massive numbers. So what we're going to do is every 24 hours, we want to check our search results and see what terms are showing for this product. So like if, for example, you get search terms for like LED makeup mirrors and your blackhead vacuum is showing for that, you want to remove that negative keyword. Like obviously people who are shopping for LED makeup mirrors are not necessarily interested in a blackhead vacuum. I guess it's kind of like a similar niche, but like they're not directly looking for a blackhead vacuum. So you want to remove keywords like that that have nothing to do with what you're advertising every 24 hours in the first week to 2 weeks of your campaign. As you start to get more and more profitable and you start to get more and more sales coming in and your budget goes up, you don't need to do this like every day. I usually do this every week. So just to be clear, to summarize this, you want to do this every day in the first week to 2 weeks of starting your single product campaign. And then after the first week or two, then you only need to check it every week or so. But in the beginning, it's really important, and this will ultimately lead to a profitable campaign faster. Use manual CPC bidding for winning campaigns. What do I mean by this? Once you go into a single product campaign, the bid setting should be set to manual CPC in the beginning, and then we switch into automated bidding after that. Using maximize clicks for your single product campaign generally does not work. Obviously, you can do whatever you want to do, but generally speaking, in my experience, maximize clicks does not ever lead to profitability. So some of my general rule of thumbs are what I want to go over next. And first of all, most importantly, like I said earlier, you want to have boundaries set in place for like when you should drop a product and when you should stop selling it and take it out of your all-in-one testing campaign. So for myself personally, this is just my rule of thumb. If a product has 200 or more clicks and does not have 2 to 3 sales, 200 or more clicks and does not have 2 to 3 sales, then I will remove this product from my testing campaign and I will never go back to it again. I will not second guess it. I will just take it out, and like it's not ever going to be like something that I ever reconsider in the future. So you can obviously come back if you want to try to test it again, but like I just know out of my experience that like if it hasn't taken off and it's not getting sales, then like I'm not married to the product and I just cut it and I move on. Like we're just testing products, we're just trying to find stuff that works. And like clearly by my rule of thumb, I know that this product is not going to work for me. That being said, if you guys want to have more strict rules, like maybe the first 100 clicks, that's okay too. But this topic and this topic here, they kind of go hand in hand, which we'll get into this in just a minute. So I leave 200, I go with 200 clicks and 2 to 3 sales, just as my rule of thumb, because in my experience for my niches and stuff that I sell, that's what works best for me. You may want to set up more strict rules like 100 clicks or 150 clicks if you don't have 2 to 3 sales, or maybe you want to have 3 sales in the first 100 clicks and that's like your hard rule. Whatever works for you is going to be best. Just obviously you want to stick to your rules that you set up, because like I said earlier, if you get married to products and you really want to try to make them work, you can end up wasting so much money. Like it's really important to just remember the fact that there's like millions of different products that you can sell online. And like if your blackhead removal vacuum isn't getting sales, it's okay. You can just move on and you'll find other products that do. So That being said, on the last topic, you do not want to add negative keywords to the testing campaign because in theory, you'll have so many different types of products that if you add negative keywords to your testing campaign, you could be limiting how many times another product is showing. So for example, if you have a blackhead vacuum that you're advertising, and then you also have a dog collar that you're advertising, and you add in negative keywords like dog blackheads or something like that, I don't know, like you add in different keywords that ultimately can limit how many times your other product is showing. So like if you add black as a negative keyword, that could prevent black dog color from showing up, if that makes sense. So you just don't even add any negative keywords at all to the testing campaign. And that goes back into our rules here. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you're not really looking for profit, and it's not going to be like a profitable testing campaign. But also, since you're not adding negative keywords, you can get like way more clicks that are irrelevant to what your product is. So going back to our blockhead removal vacuum, if we have no keywords, if we have no negative keywords for our blockhead vacuums, then what's going to happen is that ad might show for people searching things like LED makeup mirror or how to get rid of acne or like other things that aren't necessarily specifically related to our blackhead vacuum, and that's okay in the testing phase. So like that's why I leave my rule of thumb is 200 clicks, because you might have anywhere from 50 to 75 to 100 clicks on your product in your testing campaign that are totally irrelevant to what the actual product is. And that's okay. That's like why it's not going to be profitable. And that's why it's okay to like have a higher amount of clicks that your rule of thumb is on when you should cut a product, because like you're not adding negative keywords, so therefore your ad's going to be showing for irrelevant products. So hopefully that makes sense. That's why I keep 200 clicks as my rule of thumb. You may not have the budget for that. You may want to only do 100 clicks and you get 2 to 3 sales or 1 sale or like whatever. It's just important to remember to set up boundaries for yourself, because people can waste a lot of money getting married to products. All right, guys, so that pretty much sums up our step-by-step tutorial on how to use Google Shopping and the blueprint that I use to go from zero to over $9,000 a day, and hopefully even more in my niche stores coming up. Make sure you stay tuned for more videos and how-to topics using Google advertising. I hope you guys found this video useful. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, so that's the end of our step-by-step tutorial on how to advertise on Google Shopping for your Shopify dropshipping stores. You want to definitely take action on this because it's really that simple. All you have to do is just test products and get those sales coming in. So if you found this video useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and comment below with what you want to see more of in the future. Stay tuned for my next videos this week because coming out, they're going to be really valuable just like this one. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.